because society has been complaining for a while that men don't grow up. And I think to a degree it's because of relationships. Because if you were to go back 200 years, right? When you were 15 or 16, you'd be hot and bothered, want to get in a relationship with a girl, get into that relationship, knock her up, have kids. Society would then force you to stay together, and then you would be forced responsibilities onto you that you would have to accept and fulfill. And in this modern...
Oh, because you were horny, motherfucker.
Yeah, but in this
Holy shit. What a fucking breakdown. Andrew.
But in this modern world of sexual freedom, the pill, condoms, morning after, abortion, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So if a guy doesn't have to take responsibility, why would he? To a degree, right? Like if a guy doesn't have a girlfriend and doesn't have any pressures, any responsibilities to look after, I 100% understand the guy who just sits at home and plays an MMO like Final Fantasy 15 for the rest of their lives and does nothing else about that.
What about number 16? What about when the new one comes out?
Oh wait, no, I was thinking of 14, the MMO, the online one. But here's the thing, right? In this modern world, there's no other than playing the social game. Okay, so the way I view it, right, is that guys can either choose to play the social game or not play the social game, right? So the guys who want to get the chicks and all that stuff will get those nice jobs to attract the chicks, which attracts the chicks, and then...
Attracting chicks does attract chicks.
no, but like getting the high-paid jobs, the jobs that...
I'm serious, dude. If you start attracting chicks, that would... I'm not even trying to joke. I'm just saying... when you're around more people, you attract more people.
Yeah. But there's some people who are just
who don't want to subscribe to that life.
You don't want to subscribe to it. And that's what modern society has
The
provided.
media, modern society, movies, TV shows, teen shows that we grow up on, creating... Look at you and me, man. We live with our parents, right?
Yeah.
Because why do I want to pay this dead money? Whereas TV and all these shows, they glorify this life on campus. I'm a guy at the campus life, renting with a roommate. It's so fun. I get to live with my friends.
No, but that's the American lifestyle. And from what I've heard, that only happened after World War II. Before World War II, it would be normal for the kids to live with the parents and only move out after they were married.
I wouldn't say American, I'd say Western.
Yeah. Or just society in general, right? Yeah. It would be normal to live with your parents until you got married and then moved out. But because after the World War II, there was a huge economic boom. It encouraged people to move out. Like let's put it this way, right? My parents have been earning roughly the same income since they came to Australia.
What the
and they were able to buy a house, right? If I was to get a decent job today, I would be let's say I could easily get a job that earns more than both of them today, right? But even with that amount, it would be very difficult for me to get a house. Like houses in Bankstown are
$500,000.
$500,000?
Right about.
Wow, it dropped a lot.
Oh, $500,000 was low end, and wait, no. I'm using houses like the overall accommodation. That's what I mean. Houses more than more than $500,000 for sure.
Like a
more
house.
$500,000 was
I think lowest for Bankstown might be 800. And it could easily be $1 million, right? So let's say me getting that 100K job, that would be 10 years of my income, right? Well, let's compare it to my parents. My parents were like they were earning like 50K or something together, and when they bought the house, it was 300K.
Not bad.
So that was 6 times their income,
Yeah.
and 100K is kind of approaching the point where you're in the top 10 of society, right? Top 10% of society. So if I was to earn that much, I would be in the top 10% of society.
Yep.
And even then, I would have to save 10 years of my income in order to outright buy a house. Or like, let's say the deposit, like honestly, right? Let's say I'm normally I can save a third of my income. So that would be, let's say I was earning 100K, right? So that would be 30K a year. To just get the deposit for that house would be like 3 years of saving.
Damn. That's rough.
We're kind of like, our generation, there's like a lot of problems.
I can see why it's affected the certain way, how like different people might then go about viewing based on what they're able to do, how they decide to relationships and bonds and things like that.
Yeah, because like shit is expensive, man. But here's the funny thing, right? I've met friends where they were like, do the startup life, build that app, get all the money you could wish about, and then you don't have to worry about that shit. And
That's irresponsible.
I don't think it's irresponsible, but it's just that it's a lifestyle with an incredibly high degree of risk. Because 1 in 10 startups fail, right?
Well,
And
how many marriages end in divorces? 1 in.
is it 1 in 2 or 1 in 3?
There you go. So you're more likely to succeed with a startup than a relationship.
No, 1 in 10. Oh yeah, that's true.
Come on, Mister.
Oh no. You know what the funny
Anyways.
thing was, right?
Go. You finish that, and then I'll end the podcast. But go. What's the funny thing?
The funny thing was, I remember I was when I told my friend this, my startup friend this, he was like, "Oh no, you shouldn't be so depressed about relationships and all that stuff."
You
Even
said
though I
he's
explained
depressed.
it really like.
You said you were depressed. You're not
No,
depressed.
he was telling I was like depressed and I was down about relationships, and then he keeps on trying to get me into startup, and I said, if I did a startup and I actually succeeded, that would actually discourage me even more, because if I was to marry a chick and then get divorced, I don't want to give her half of my hard work.
Well, that's why you get a prenup.
No,
And
but
on
prenups
that-
don't work.
What?
Because like here's one of the things.
Yeah. There's a level of like the life that you're accustomed to. Like
No,
prenups.
it's not that. It's from what I understand, it's that if you have a prenup, the chick's lawyer can say he wouldn't marry her unless he did the prenup, and so she can throw that out under duress, and so the
Ooh.
prenup will mean nothing.
Oh. So being unable to marry is a duress now. I didn't know that. Anyways, ready to wrap up?
Yep.
Thanks for having.
That's alright.
Wait, thanks for coming. You should thank me for having you on.